Last time, we investigated the film studios of the Steel Samurai, and today, it's time for the trial. October 18th, 10 AM, District Court, Courtroom Number 4. Bang. Court is now in session for trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 PM on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Gumshoe's back. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I explained with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio. See? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 PM on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate. See? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 PM, the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 PM, the production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 PM. A samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? Probably not. So the murder weapon was a spear. How? Medieval. Samurai spear. Let's go. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. And there she is, the old hag. Will the witness declare her name? Huh? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie. No need to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Edgeworth isn't having fun. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy, Oldbag, dearie. But just call me Grandma. I mean, when I went out, I was all like, well, that's really still there. I was trying to make fun of me and just you believe it. But there was this boy, the captain of Jessica and Jerry. He told me, oh, like, well, I just Objection. I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. No one wants to hear him talk. The witness will refrain from rambling on in the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, see, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. I swear the judge is like the same age as hers. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Let's go, testimony. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 PM. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-free there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from there until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 PM, right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 PM. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the station. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Let's see, old bag. I will find your secrets. So she arrived at 1 PM, and then they were doing a run-through since the morning. But how does she know that if she arrived late? A run-through. They were working on a scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon, and they were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon. So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there afternoon? Well, we didn't get anything from that. What about her errands? Maybe she'll betray herself. Here. What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. No, I don't. Answer the question. Exactly. Actually, I was watching for Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know? Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper, I told you I'd not forget, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Wait. She says Powers passed her at 2 PM. But in the image, the guy has a mask. So you don't know if it was Powers. So you saw Mr. Powers. That's what I said. Good marks in your ears, Sonny. Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon. I'll say it again. It was him. Well, this photo says otherwise. Let me get this straight, Oldbag. Mrs. Oldbag, you've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo.
See, he's masked. You don't see the man.
What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course! Does your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't. Even Edward is shot. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai, but that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. It was more yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, witness. He's having trouble calling him Oldbag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
No, see, old man. Of course I have proof.
Wait, what? Why don't we have this proof? What?
Huh?
Even Edgeworth is friends. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please, make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that phone to the yacht detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow. Old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. She left him winded.
Let's hear about your proof, then.
Okay, the man in photo.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at the picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
No.
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. No, let's not do that. I don't want to hear this old lady squeal. So he's dragging his leg, and that's meant to mean it's Powers. But anyone can drag their leg. You still don't know it's Powers. Still, you can't look at this and say it's Mr. Powers. Now, Edgeworth.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Powers would have been dragging his leg.
He has a point. It does seem quite likely that it was Powers.
Well, are we sure he's dragging his legs? It just looks like his pants are much longer than they should be. Also, the spear seems to be unbroken. He broke a prop.
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
Wait, the spear's intact. First of all, to kill. Second of all, in my storage. And third of all, in the picture. The samurai spear. The murder weapon.
Walker, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
Where's duct tape? What? This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. What is there duct tape on this image? That duct tape? Am I stupid? It's like, how would you pierce someone's chest? If you use a spear, that doesn't exactly work. Surely that would just break off. If you're going through bone or something. So she saw him trip and fall. Trip and fall?
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be a steel samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better. I guessed it where it hurt. Let's just skip over that part, shall we?
I thought you didn't like Powers. Kind of strange.
I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is this steel samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the steel samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Well, how can you be sure? You haven't seen the face. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. Nowhere in the photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also.
Allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Oh, there's more.
The time of the poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. True. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be this steel samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Testimony. The only person I saw could there have been someone else, though. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, sorry. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking. Right. No one else went there. What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before one? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then, and I locked the main gate, so no one could get in. Not to mention,
if they had, I would have seen them. Well, where are the cameras? Hold on, look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the groin.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m. Photo number 2. Wait, so where's the rest? Where's number 1?
Even I don't know what that means. It was taken at 2 p.m. on October 15th.
Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? She's hiding something. Come on, Shed. Fine. Order. Order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. If there's only data for one of the photos, who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Me, she was the mouth whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things.
Ah, that's convenient, isn't it?
Edgy boy, help! Edgy boy, scurry!
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help here. Your whippersnapper too.
I see in Black Knight. Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Oh yes. I suppose you could put it that way.
Well, yeah, we've got to do that, but what's our excuse? I see. Your testimony, please. Let's go. We're moving.
Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos, record on a security computer, and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
It's all like, it's the first I've heard of it.
Well, of course, sorry. I've only just remembered it.
Or like, I've only just made it up.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
Me too, Maya, me too. The other person. Wait, so who was on the first photo then? Well, who in the heck was in that photo you raised?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. We're the freaks, if you ask me. I get information about rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was fired that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate, so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a train that goes into the employee area.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I edited it out, you didn't see it, but it was there. Exactly, there in the corner.
Wright has been loose for a while. It's outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the train.
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and for kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So on the photo that you raised,
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
what? That doesn't really help us. Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Ceseal Samurai, dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, well we see his stand there every day.
Wait, that's why he was dragging his legs. He could have been a kid, because his legs aren't long enough for the pants, so he's dragging.
Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much attention. That's why I raised the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was fair. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and we're already trying to unsuspect him. Yeah, it's like we're working together again for some reason. Bang. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And not forgetting vital information this time. Yeah, Eustace Oldbag. October 18, 11:08 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 3. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio. I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
Well, how should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. Steel Samurai, funny. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick, what are we going to do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this, such as the kid.
Right, and it will take them so long to shoot us down. But we can get it over a day.
Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. Oh no, this seems like a time for decisions.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go. Bang.
Court will now reconvene for a trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Chatter. Bang.
Order. Interesting. Thus here he have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough.
So who was this person, other than Mr. Powers, that could have committed the murder?
Who could have committed the murder? Well, it could be the boy, because the boy is small, so he's not limping. His legs are too short. It was the grade school boy. Oh, it's kind of iffy because he is a schoolboy. Why isn't anyone saying anything?
Are you seriously suggesting the boy did it, Mr. Wright? Grade school boy kills veteran action star with spear. For one thing, the murder weapon was with the steel samurai. Would you care to explain just how the boy would have obtained it from him?
Maybe that was a dumb move on my part.
Maybe. How would absolutely, Nick?
Well, who could it have been? Maybe it could have been the assistant girl. But the security lady didn't seem to like Mr. Powers from the very start. And she does have access to the cameras. She does see everything. Maybe it's her. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag.
Her?
The steel samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. There. He's going mental.
What? Whippersnapper?
Bang, bang.
Order. Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Mrs. Oldbag to you.
Mrs. Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the steel samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume?
Because she doesn't want to be caught? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes too, baby. Huh? That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth points us? Edgeworth is getting screwed here. Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
It seems not. The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did? Is that it, edgy boy? Don't just sit there. Do something!
What's mine? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Let's push further. No break for Granny. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Mrs. Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forgot that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait, just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy, the one whose photo I raised. He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
And there's no proof because she erased it.
That doesn't even matter. When I was that age, I could pin my own band in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it be nice to the kids and me to your elders' day? Whippersnapper.
I have proof.
Proof?
Wait, we have proof?
Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder.
So is the fact that he's dragging his leg? That he doesn't know? Your Honor, the murder weapon was a samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. Oh, so
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
Windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well.
Bang.
This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name?
Something Oldbag, Your Honor.
And the prosecution will look further into this, Oldbag, before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Wait a second!
What?
I'm going to just sit here while you run off barking up from a tree! Me! I'm talking!
Wait, what? No.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk. This Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about?
I heard.
Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
I shall receive his testimony in the next episode.